Singh, let's begin with what transpired in the Lok Sabha today. The Lok Sabha on Thursday continued with a general discussion on the union budget, with members of the Treasury benches hailing it as a futuristic and visionary budget, while those from the opposition alleging that it offered nothing for the poor. The BJP's Sunita Duggal said that the budget will boost the exercise to make Atmanirbhar Bharat, which will also be modern. Despite the assembly elections to 5 states being around the corner, the government refrained from using the budget for momentary political gains, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi always has the country's overall development on his mind, she said. The Sirsa MP said that she had listened to Railway Budget's presentation by Mamata Banerjee in the House from the visitors' gallery long back and was surprised to see that it was largely centered on West Bengal. If 100 schemes were announced, then 99 would not even take off on the ground, she said. Now, various projects like East and West freight corridors, where little work happened till 2014, are now in full swing, with the government focusing on boosting development across the country, she said. LJSP's member Mehboob Ali Kaisar said that the budget is forward-looking and growth-oriented. The budget offers a blueprint to steer the economy towards sustained high growth. Efficient and timely execution will be key, he said. Hailing the budget, BJP's Rajiv Pratap Rudy called it futuristic and visionary and said that it has a master plan for the country, with the government taking various steps to boost development and infrastructure. The dream that fruits from Bihar can be exported to Australia and New Zealand would get actualized. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary of the Congress slammed the budget, saying it may have a map but offers no road. He cited party member Rahul Gandhi, who said that it's a zero budget with no blueprint for creating jobs. In a reference to BJP member Tejasvi Surya's speech in the House, in which he had rejected the criticism about unemployment in the country and claimed that dynasts like Rahul Gandhi are now unemployed, Chaudhary said, without naming Surya, that he was a digital boy from the RSS factory, and added that empty vessels make more sound. Ruling party leaders have been targeting first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru without any knowledge, the Congress leader said, and cited unemployment, malnutrition and inflation figures to attack the government. He also named various institutions created by Nehru. The budget can be summarized as zilch, as it has no provision for to help for the poor, no roadmap for employment creation and tax relief for people, he said. After seeing Achhe Din promised by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, people are now demanding their Bure Din or bad days back, he said. Crude oil prices in international market was more when the Congress-led UPA was in power, but petrol, diesel and LPG cost more now, he said. JDU's Santosh Kumar praised the budget, which he said has clean bowled the opposition. In a reply, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman hit out at the Congress for mocking the current times as Andhakar or dark days and not the Amrit Kal as described by the BJP. She said the real Andhakal was when India's foreign exchange reserve was barely sufficient for 2 weeks in 1991 and people suffered double digits of inflation in the UPA era. In those times, headlines were full of scams and every day there were media reports about one scandal or another. She said India was seen as a fragile economy which was suffering from policy paralysis, she said. Over 20 crore women have been given direct benefit transfer from Modi government, and India is now showcasing its talent and innovation with more than 40 unicorns having been developed. Farmers have been given actual annual benefit of 6,000 rupees each, with startups being encouraged, she said. Macroeconomic data are much better now, she added. Command and control centers of all 100 smart cities will be operational by August 15th this year. Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said on Thursday, responding to supplementaries during question hour, he said that the command and control centers in 75 smart cities are already operational. Meanwhile, several members complained about not being invited to the meetings of the Smart City Director Board, chaired by Chief Secretaries of the respective states. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla shared the concerns of the members regarding absence of invitation to parliamentarians. for meeting development of small cities. You give directions to the state government to invite members of the parliament for meetings, he said, addressing the urban affairs minister. Congress member Hebe Eden said that he had received invitations and also attended meetings of the city level advisory committee where proposals for smart cities are mooted. He also demanded that members be invited to the smart city director board. Puri said that the demand of members could be discussed. He said that the implementation of the Smart Cities mission has been extended up to June 2023 and all projects including Thiruvananthapuram will be completed within the stipulated time. And let's now take at what transpired in the Rajya Sabha today. The Rajya Sabha proceedings began on a stormy note with the opposition protesting the statement by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and on Andhra Pradesh reorganization bill. When Deputy Chairman Harivansh called for 0 hour, the members from the TRS sought to raise the issue. Leader of opposition Mallikarjun Kharge sought to raise the issue on the remarks made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the Andhra Pradesh reorganization bill. However, he was disallowed from raising the matter by the chair. In the 0 hour, Manoj Jha of the RJD said that all the universities and colleges should be opened since it was denying many students access to education. He said that many students don't have digital access to education. John Brittas of the CPIM raised the issue of COVID pandemic and said that the government ignored senior citizens who are suffering due to the COVID pandemic. Even as proceedings of the 0 hour were on, members of the TRS entered the well to protest the statement by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Andhra Pradesh reorganization bill. In a 0 hour mention, Deepak Prakash of the BJP said that the governments of West Bengal and Jharkhand are encouraging illegal mining. K.C. Ramamurthy of the BJP raised the issue of private coaching centers luring students through advertisements. Kailash Soni of the BJP raising the issue of the murder of Kishan Bhardwaj in Gujarat said that the ATS has revealed that he was accused that the accused wanted to kill Sudarshan's TV's Suresh Chavhanke along with 11 others. He demanded that security should be provided to the nationalist Suresh Chavhanke and Jitendra Tyagi. During the question hour, the Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting L. Murugan responded to a question on many social media channels airing objectionable content and said that more than 60 YouTube channels have been blocked. In response to a question on the online harassment of women, the minister said that it is an offence, it is an IPC offence. He said that it is a state subject and hence all central governments cannot act in the matter. In reply to another question, the minister said that the government will take action against fake news and those who write against national sovereignty of the country. Responding to a question, Environment Minister Bhupender Yadav said that that the government has stringent rules to reduce poaching. He said that the meeting to have been held to bring out strict rules to criminalize poaching. In reply to a question by Jairam Ramesh, the Congress, the minister said that there is a serious issue on the human-animal conflict. He said, and I quote him, "We will bring it down in areas of defense human population accordingly to the Wildlife Protection Act, which we have brought out guidelines to reduce human deaths in human-animal conflicts," he said. Responding to a question, Labour Minister Bhupender Yadav said that there has been a 22% increase in employment compared to 2014. He said that there are, as per the latest periodic labour market report, 2 lakh more jobs were added despite COVID-19. After the question hour, the House took up the discussion on the general budget. Continuing with his speech from yesterday, Syed Zafar Islam of the BJP said that what the previous UPA governments did not fulfill promises made in their manifesto. Participating in the discussion, Chaya Verma of the Congress, referring to comments made by PM Modi that COVID-19 was spread through Congress, He said that when COVID-19 was spreading, the BJP was busy in toppling Madhya Pradesh government and its leader who were organizing the Namaste Trump. On the budget, she said that the government reduced tax on diamonds and increased the policy of artificial jewelry, terming the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao an empty slogan. She pointed out that women were being raped and assaulted across the country. She said that the BJP government has failed to bring the women's reservation bill, which showed its lack of commitment for the women's empowerment. In this regard, she said that the Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra promised reservation for women in tickets for the Uttar Pradesh Assembly polls and had fulfilled her promise. The government should try to begin women's reservation bill, she said. Sujit Kumar of the BJD expressed concern over the low allocation of health, especially during COVID pandemic. Manoj Kumar Jha of the RJD said that there is no vision in the budget, especially when it comes to allocation for health and employment. He expressed concern on the allocation for sanitation workers. Vandana Chavan of the NCP said that budget should take steps for allocation of local bodies and to ensure development of urban development center. The cities need to strengthen and need to be strengthened for achieving the vision for $5 trillion economy, she said. Anil Desai of the Shiv Sena said that the hopes of the common man have been completely belied by the budget. The rich are becoming richer while the poor are getting poorer. That's what he said. Ramnath Thakur of the JDD demanded that an airport can be built in Bihar. He said that Finance Minister should tell the House how many of the 400 Vande Bharat trains started in the budget will pass through Bihar. He demanded that Bihar be given special status. Akhilesh Prasad Singh of the Congress said that the budget is gripped with paralysis for important sectors have been stashed. He demanded that the repeated demands for special status for Bihar have gone unheard. Bihar is being given a stepmotherly treatment, he said. Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP termed the budget a welfare-oriented, all-inclusive budget. Prashant Nanda of the BJD said that the budget has come at a time as a disappointment. The budget does not contain any measures for price rise, he said. KJ Alphonse of the BJP responding to the opposition, blaming the present government for inequalities in society, said that inequalities is the reality of the world. Global inequality is a fact. Alphonse's on the opposition's charge of the government favouring corporates like Adani, he said that anyone who creates jobs, whether Ambani or Adani, should be worshipped. Rajmani Patel of the Congress said that the BJP government has failed to fulfill its promises of giving jobs to the youth. This is not Bharat's budget, it's India's budget, written in Nagpur and printed in Delhi, he said. Syed Nasir Hussain of the Congress said that the BJP government has failed to fulfill promises made by the people. They had promised to double farmers' income by 2022 and ensure Pakka houses to the poor by 2022. However, none of these promises have been completely fulfilled. He said on BJP charges that Congress is spreading corona. He said that it is the Congress workers who have been working on the ground to bring relief to those who are affected by COVID. Abul Wahab of the IUML praised the issue of Muslim girls wearing hijab not allowed in schools in Karnataka. She said that the mantra of the government is the Beti Darao and Beti Dhamkao, not a Beti Bajao. He said that there was a need to invest more in the universities and colleges. Our universities do not have enough instruments to do research, he said. Let's invest in our youth and knowledge economy for a better future. He added that GVL Narasimha, the race of He said the BJP budget sets stage for making India a knowledge economy in the next 25 years. He said that contrary to opposition claims, India is the largest growing economy with lowest inflation. He said that India's unemployment fell to 11-month low in January. The discussion on a motion of thanks to the President's address has now concluded. The Minister will reply to the debate in the Rajya Sabha tomorrow. After laying special mentions, the House was adjourned till tomorrow. And that's it in Parliament News. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.